So this is our class third, and this in this class we'll try to understand some more examples on strings, and then we'll try to solve some questions based on that. So now tell me how many of you know what is concatenation? How many of you know about concatenation? Like what is concat?
It is
Adding,
merging two strings of data.
yeah. So Arvina, you are saying adding two things. So adding two things will not be the answer. Adding two strings will be the exact answer. And I will ask you few questions on that also. So let's just try to write something here. I am going to write A equal to Abhishek and B equal to 1, 2, 3. I am taking a variable C, and in C, I am going to store A plus B. And after that, I will try to print C. Tell me, what will be the output here? What do you think what will be the output here? Okay. So Satyajit is saying it's error. Okay. And Sandesh is saying Abhishek 1, 2, 3. Muthu Kumar is saying Abhishek 1, 2, 3. Just Sandesh and Muthu, tell me one thing. B, what is the data type of B? Tell me the data type of B, Muthu and Sandesh. Int. So can we join or can we combine a string with an integer with the help of concat? See, this A plus B is basically concatenation only. If one thing is a string and second thing is also a string, then only we can concat. So for example, if I'll run this, it will give me an error, and the error will be type error, which means if you are using this plus here, then if two things or two variables hold the value of strings, then you can add them or concat them. So for example, I will ask you a question. If two values are integers, then it will be called as string or add. Tell me, if two values are integers, then it will be called as concat or add. The answer will be add. But if two things are strings or two things are character values, then what it will be called? Like it will be called as concat. So if I want to add these two strings, I have to drop 1, 2, 3 as a string only. Now, if I will print it, I will get Abhishek 1, 2, 3. So this is basically very small example of concatenation. Now, if you want to add some spaces or something, then you can do it like this. And then again plus. Is this clear? Now tell me, do we have any concat function in Python? Do we have any concat function in Python? Arvind is saying, yes, we have a concat function in Python. And Mayank is also saying we have a concat function in Python. Can we join two strings with that concat function? Or do we have to import something to use that concat function? Yes, UV is correct. So there is no direct concat function in Python. If you want to use a concat function in Python, you have to import some libraries. And that library is pandas library. So right now we are not working on library or anything. So by default, there is no direct function in Python to concat two strings. So if you want to do it something like this, you have to use this plus like addition of strings, which is known as concatenation. Is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Hello. Now we'll talk about something known as formatting in strings. Now what is formatting in strings? So suppose I have taken a variable and this time I want my variable to take input from the user. So if I want to take input from the user as a string, what I have to do is I will just write input. So by default, input will take a string value from the user. And if I want to drop a message, what kind of value I want, I can drop a message also. Enter a string. Now what I will do is this time I will take one more thing, which is B, and I will write input, and I will take uh, enter your date of birth. So these are my two strings that I will take from the user. Now I will write an operation. So I will write result equal to, and in result I will write a string. My name is, and I will put a curly braces here. I will put curly braces here. And my date of birth is, and now again I will put curly braces here. So this is my result set that I have created on my own. Now I want to pass the above two values in the same order in the result. So see, I have given two curly braces. So I want these values in the same order. So first value, which is A, which I am taking a user input, I will write there my name. And B, in B, I will write my date of birth. So I want my name and my date of birth in the same, these curly braces in the same order. First name, then my date of birth. So what I will do is I will write a print statement. And I will write result, that is my result. And I will write dot format because I want to format my result. And after writing dot format, I will write my A comma B. So in the first curly braces, our A will hold the value. And in the second curly braces, our B will hold the value. Let's try to run it. I will write the name first, Durgesh Yadav. Then it will ask me, enter your date of birth. So I will write 17/08/1998. See, it will give me the output. My name is Durgesh Yadav and my date of birth is 17/08/1998. So this is something known as formatting. If you want to format your string with the results that you are getting, or if you want to make a, like for example, just understand, if I want to write a by default mail, many of the times in if you are using chat gpt also, it gives you the output in which you have to write your name on your own. Like for example, if I'm going to apply for a company and I want to write a cover letter, so now this time I want to make a default cover letter. and the default cover letter will work for everyone. Now I want some of the spaces to be filled by some other different people. Like I want, if a person wants to write his name, he can write his name. If a person wants to write his date of birth, he can write his date of birth. If his graduation, then his graduation. So I want to create a default template. I want to create a default template in which a person can hold the value that he wants. So this function dot format in Python can help you like this. So you just have to pass the value, and these values will by default like will combine with the result that you are getting right now. Is this dot format clear to all of you? Is this dot format clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Let's take one more example. So this time I will take a value a equal to Durgesh Yadav. And after this, I will write print, and inside print, I will use F, and then I will write my string. So my string I will write as seven 42. So if I want to do something like this, let's run it. So this is something known as F string in Python. So for example, if I have given one value here, like A is equal to Durgesh Yadav, B is equal to uh, just data analytics, and I'm writing here please turn off your mic. Now, if I'm writing something like this, see. So this thing is same like formatting, only the thing that I have teached you with dot format. This is the same thing which is known as F string in Python. So if someone asks you what is F string in Python, then you can tell this thing also. Is this thing clear to all of you? Is this thing clear to all of you? Now, if I have written A equal to Pragya, if I have written something like this, Pragya Rathi, then what I can do is, if I want to, if I want to count how many letters are there in this name, so I can do it like I will write print. If you will not write print, then also it will accept it as a print statement only, but I will write print, and I will write a dot count, and I will write a here. What will be the output here? Just tell me. What will be the output here in this? The output will be 3. The output will be 3. Is this thing clear to all of you? Now, if I have written a string like this, if I have written something like this, and I want to search for A. I want to count how many A are there. And I want to give a position also, like from where till where I want the count. So that if in this case, you have two things, start and end. So I want to check the occurrence of A from 10th index to 14th index. Let's check it. So it is 0, which means from 10th index to 14th index, there is no A available. Is this thing clear to all of you? If you want to check the occurrence or count of a character in a complete sentence from a initial point to a end point. Is this thing clear to all of you? Please give me the answer in the chat box so that I can move forward. Is this thing clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Like this, I want answers. But nobody is giving answers like this. Now, for example, just tell me how many of you know about trim function? How many of you know about what is trim function? Nice. So is there any function in Python that works like trim only? Because many of you visualize the data on Python also. Do you know any function that works like trim only in Python? Let's take an example. I am taking a variable name, and inside the name variable, I am passing a value space Durgesh space. Now, if I want to remove extra spaces from left and right, then what I have to do? There is something known as lstrip. So what I will do is I will write print. Let's first to show you the output also. I will take a variable A and I will write name dot lstrip, and inside lstrip I don't have to write anything because lstrip is basically a function. And now I will write print count of, sorry, I will write print length of name, and in the other side I will write print length of A. Let's see what will be the output. The output is 27 and 18. Tell me why the answer is 18 here. So now what this L is doing, L is basically left. Remove all the spaces from the left. If you want to remove all the spaces from the right, you have to write R strip. And if you want to do it for both left and right, then you have to write what? Strip. Is this thing clear to all of you?
Yeah. Yes, got it.
Okay. So basically, these are basic functions that you must be aware of. And I know these are very simple, but why I'm teaching these things in class, because I want you to remember these things only. Don't try to go very deep, because there is a lot of syllabus in Python and you don't have to learn everything for cracking a data analyst role. So the notes that I am making for you in Google Colab, these are more than sufficient to crack your interview in Python data analytics. Data analytics I'm talking about. Now, I will try to give you some questions. And I want you to answer those questions. So let me think what question I can make for you. Write a Python program to identify if the string has more than 10 characters, then print okay, if the string has more than 10 characters, then check if there is A available. If A is available, print true, else print false. Very basic question that I'm giving you right now. So you have to write a program to identify if the string has more than 10 characters, then you have to check if there is A available or not. If A is available, print true, else print false. Will you be able to do this question? A string will be from user. The user will input the string. So let's take, I'm giving you the first point. A is equal to input, enter a string. Now tell me what will be the next step. What will be the next step here? Just tell me first.
Length of string.
Correct. So I can take a variable also, C is equal to length of string. I can directly do it as well, but I will try T C is equal to length of A. Okay. So now I have taken one just a length of the characters here. Now what will be the second thing that I will do?
If statement.
Ratna, please turn off your mic. Okay, so I have taken. Now what I will do is, do I have to pass the if condition? Correct. If C if C is greater than 10, then what I have to do? If C is greater than 10. One more if condition inside if condition.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then what will be my second if condition? If A in if A in what? If A in A,
A.
which is my variable A. What I have to print then? Yes.
To print true or false, sir.
else? Yeah, only that thing only. Okay, print. No. Is there any case for, if there is there any case, like for example, if this is not the condition, I have not put any case. So what I will do is I will put a case here, else, else print no output. Is this a correct Python code?
Yes, Zurgesh.
Okay. Let's enter a string. No output. There is no A in Durgesh. And the Durgesh is less than 10 characters. Is everybody clear with this basic question of string?
Yes.
Okay. Now the second question is, write a Python program to check how many vowels are there in a string. If more than two vowels, if more than two vowels, then then concat all the vowels, concat all the vowels into a string with a different name. So this is the question. Try to think for like 3 to 4 minutes and then give me the answer. Write a code, like you all have access to Google Colab, write the code and paste it. Take your time. Any output? Like any answer from anyone? No. Okay. So this is the question which was basically asked from me. Like someone in some of the in one company's interview, I was asked this question, and I will tell you the approach how to solve it, and we'll move step by step. And you can also expect this question in your interview. It is a famous question. Only the values I have changed. Okay, so what will be my first step? My first step will be I will take a input string. So I will write string, and I will take it from the user, and I will give a message if I want to give enter a string. Enter a string. Now my second step will be, see, if I want to check all the vowels, if I want to check all the vowels, what I have to do?
If statement with or answer if
Can I do something like this? A equal to, and put all my vowels here. A, E, I, O, U. Do we have to put it in capital letters also?
No, we can convert, right? This.
Yeah, but do we have to use a capital letter also? Let's do it for small only. So I will take my vowels here in this. Basically, if someone is stored in a square bracket, this is known as list. So list, what list? I will tell you what is the function of a list and everything. Don't worry, I will do that. Now I will take a variable. I will take a variable v, and v I will assign a value to. I will assign a value 0 to v. So what we will do is we will count. We will count how many vowels are there. So I am taking a variable v which I need to count how many vowels are there. And then I will make a string C in which if there are more than two vowels, then in this C string, which I'm taking as an empty string. See, if I'm taking C is equal to only inverted commas, this means C is a empty string. So all the values, all the vowels, if vowels are greater, if count of vowel is greater than 2, then what I will do is I will concat all the vowels to this string C, which is an empty string. So if I will add ABC to an empty string, what will be the output? If I will add ABC to the empty string, what will be the output? So now we'll try to solve this one. So I will write if A in string, if A in string, I will write V is equal to V plus 1. Like I am writing, if we are able to find any of the vowels in my string, what I will do is for every vowel, I will try to add a number 1. Is this a correct approach? Let's do it and understand, is this a correct approach or not? Just give me a minute. I'm getting call from my father. Just give me a minute. Hello. So let's try to solve it with this approach only. And if this approach will not work, then we will understand the more good approach in which we will solve this question. So I'm just writing if A in a string. Firstly, what I'm doing is I am just counting. So I will count. And side by side, while counting the things, I will try to add the vowels also. So I will write C is equal to C plus C plus what? Tell me, C is equal to C plus what? Nothing. So that's why to solve this question, we have to, for counting this and adding, we need a index. We need an index we need an index that can check one by one my string and find out whether I am getting a vowel or not. I need an index who will go to my string A, B, C, E, I, O, U, any string I have written. I want an index who will go first on this A and checks whether this A is a vowel or not. If this A is a vowel, then count one. Then it will check B. No, B is not a vowel. Then check C. C is not a vowel. Then he will check I. Again, I is a vowel. Then count will be 2. So I want an index which can run on my string one by one to get me the count of vowels. Do we want something like that? Yes or no? Do we want something like that? Yes, we want something like that. Because directly, if I will check A, E, I, O, U in my string, it will give me only single value. See, if I will directly check this thing completely on my string, it will only give me value once, which will be one only. Count will be only one. Then we cannot try this approach. We have to try a different approach. And in that different approach, we need something known as loops. Loops in Python. Loop is basically something which can iterate from a point to a different point based on the requirement and checks or iterates the value one by one. So for example, if I have written Durgesh, and if I want to check or if I want to go one by one to all my letters in my name Durgesh, then I need an index which can start from D, which is my 0th index, and it can go up to the length of my name, which is last index. Are you understanding what basically loop is? A thing that will go from an initial point to the last point until it is completely over. So for example, if I'm going to start a loop from D, then loop will automatically end from on H. Loop will automatically end on H. But if I want it to be very specific, that I want to start from index 2 and want to end at index 5, then I can do that thing also. So I will tell you what basically a for loop is. One by one, I will give you the example and then I will tell you. So for example, if I have taken a string as an input, what I will do is I will write for. So for is basically used for creating the loops. So for, and I will take an index. So I will create an index on my own. So I will take an index X. So X is basically my index, which will go one by one and check everything. So I will write for X in range. For X in range. Then what is this range? What is this range? This range can be any numerical value like 1 to 10. This range can be any numerical value starting, ending. And the third thing is basically how many places you want to skip. First is starting, then ending. Ending is always length minus 1. So basically, I will tell you, if I have written something like this 1, 10, 1, then it will be starting from 1, go to 10 minus 1, which is 9, and skip 1 from it. So I will tell you this thing with a different technique. So for example, if I have written for X in range 1, 10, and I am writing print X. Let's try to run this. What will happen. Are you understanding what this X is doing? We have given a range 1 to 10. So index will go first on 1. So it will work like this. I will show you how it will work. First, my index is on no position. Starting index position is nothing. Now I have given the loop for X. X go into a range of 1 to 10. So X in the range of 1 to 10, 1 to 10 will be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And last index is always minus 1. So it will be till 9 only. Now tell me what will be the first value on which X will point the index. What will be my first value on which X will point the index? My first value will be 1. So for loops works like this. For X in range. So first it will encounter 1. After encountering 1, it will go inside the loop. It will go inside this. And it will follow the statement print X. And now X is pointing to 1. So first output that I will get it is 1. Now again this thing will occur for X in range. Now automatically this 1, that is 1 here, will be added with a plus 1. So loop works like this. First thing will be 1, then 1 plus 1. So now it will point to the index 2. And again it will go inside and it will print 2. Now the X has a value of, now X has a value of 2. And again 2 plus 1 will be 3. Again it will come inside the loop and it will print 3. Like this, it will rotate until it will reach to the last value, which is 9. And it will print 1 to 9. Is this thing clear to all of you? One by one. First, it will check the first thing, then go inside, execute the statement. Then again, this thing goes inside, execute the statement. So this is basically a loop process. That's why it is known as for loop. So now what we will do is, I just told you the basic stuff. Now we'll try to again solve that question. And this time we will do it with a different way. So what I will do is I will take the string first. A equal to input, and I will take the string. Enter string. We are solving the same question. Now what I will do is I will take a string, like I will create a string, and in that string I will paste all my vowels. So I will made a variable vowels, and in that vowels variable, I will pass all my vowels that are there. A, E, I, O, U, capital A, capital E, capital I, capital O, U. And third thing that I will take will be my concatenated string, in which I will add vowels if their count is greater than 2. And fourth thing that I will take will be the count. In starting, I will initiate my count as 0. This count I am using for counting the number of vowels. Now, what I will do is I will use a for loop. For x in range. See, right now, you don't have to define a range on your own. So what you will do is you will write for x in A. For x in A. For x in my string. So if I'm writing for x in A, so the string value will be my A. So for example, if I have written Durgesh, so it will start from D and it will go till H. So for x in A, one by one, it will start from D, then U, then R, then G, then E, then S, then H. So for x in A, now I'm writing my if condition. If my x, if my index is, if my index in my vowels, अगर मेरा index मेरे vowels में है, if my index is in my vowels, then what will be the next step? If my index, see, it will check one by one. First, just tell me, in that case, I am writing here. Suppose Durgesh is the string. Suppose Durgesh is the string. So for x in A, first time, what we will, like, what value we will get here for the first time? When this will encounter, this loop will open, what will be my first value? D. Now, x, we will go inside the loop. We will go inside the loop. Initially, loop starts from value 0, which is D. D is the 0th index. That's why the last index is -1. So it will check if D in vowels. So just tell me, is D is in vowels? D is in vowels? No. But there can be a condition where the D is in vowel or A is in vowel. So I will, here I will write my count condition. Count is equal to count plus 1. So initially my count has a value 0, but as soon as a vowel in encounter, the count will be 0 plus 1. Now, after this, what I will do is same at that point of time, in the C, which is my concatenated string that I am creating, I will add C plus what? Tell me, C plus what? Who will tell me what I have to add? C is equal to C plus X, correct. Because X is basically the index. Now, I will come outside of this loop. This loop has a creation till here only. Because once all the letters till H will be encountered, this loop will finish automatically. One by one, it will grow. Now, I will write a condition if my count, the variable that I have taken, if count is greater than 2. If my count is greater than 2, print what? Print what? If my count is greater than 2, print what? Print C, which is my concatenated string. Else, what to print? Nothing is there. Now, before running this, what I will do is I will give you an example of this. So firstly, I'm taking Durgesh here. So I have inputted the string. Now, you know my vowels are A, E, I, O, U only. And I have taken a C string. So and initially I have started C with this. and I'm taking my count and I'm starting from 0. Now, firstly, when this loop will get executed for x in A, what will be the first value that I will get is D. Now this D will be checked. If D is in vowels, just tell me, D is a part of vowel, yes or no? No. If D is not a part of vowel, then both of these condition will run or not. Both of these condition will not run. And it will go till here, and count also has a value 0 till now. So this condition will also not work. And what will be printed? Nothing is there. But before, once the loop will end, see, loop has only taken a value D. So this condition will occur until H. And after this, the thing will get executed. It's not like if it will get an output, it will directly execute this statement. No, nothing like this. If you are using a loop in Python, command runs from line to line. So the understand, if you are using this loop, the control will not go outside the loop. Control will not go outside the loop to this condition until the complete loop is finished. So just tell me, if D is not there, will the control go to this line? If A is here, and A is a vowel only, will control go to this line? No. Until the complete loop is finished, no control will go outside this loop. So I have checked D, and D is basically not a vowel. So my count is still 0 only, and my C concatenated string is empty only. Now the second letter comes into the picture is U. Now tell me, if U in vowels, just tell me, U is in vowels, yes or no? Now, if U is in vowels, my count will be 0 plus 1, and my C will be U. Is this thing clear to you? Now again, R will come into the picture. Then G will come into the picture. So both are not apart, then it will like not execute. Then E will come. Then again, my count will be plus 1, which is 2 now. And it will be E. And after this, nothing is there. So let's check whether this is the only output or not. 2 and UA. So I will write Durgesh, and I think I will get nothing. Nothing is there. Tell me why nothing is there is the output. Because in Durgesh, there are only 2 vowels, not more than 2. Is this thing clear to all of you? This question, what is for loop, how we are executing the question with the for loop, is this thing clear to all of you? I have explained in the very clear and concise manner. I will, in all the classes, we will work on for loop. But in this first for loop class, I just want to make you understand like how actually for loop is working on a backend. It's not about directly writing a question and running it. How these values are assigned, how you have to solve these questions. This is something that I want to like help you with. So that's all for the class today. And I will tell you, like in the next classes, we will solve other questions on strings. Then we will start the topic, like which is a different data structure known as list. But yeah, I will give you some questions in like after this class. In the next tab, I will write 5 to 6 questions, and your homework will be to solve all those 5 and 6 questions. So those 5 and 6 questions will not be a part of any like Google. You will not get them on Google, but please don't try to search them on ChatGPT. Because if you will try to search an answer on ChatGPT, you will get it, but that will be in a different format and you will not be able to get what it is like what is written there. So try to solve it on your own. I will drop some questions and that will help you. That's for sure.